Hey, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos nuevamente a Rompiendo Paradigmas, un show de Elixor Magazine. Yo soy Agustín Vélez, como siempre junto a Alex Klaric, y hoy con nuestro special guest, Brandon Zemp.
Hey, ¿qué más? ¿Cómo están?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, gracias.
¿Cómo les va?
Bueno, bienvenidos. Aquí les contamos, tenemos un special guest, Brian, un cryptomaniac, por decir. Él, más que todo, se enfoca en todo lo que tiene que ver con las criptomonedas, los intercambios,
Trading, yeah.
todo trading de la nueva era de las monedas virtuales.
Ok, entonces Brandon, dinos tu nombre completo.
My full name.
No, your...
Nombre
yeah,
completo.
full name. Yeah.
Brandon Zemp.
Okay.
Brandon Zemp.
Brandon Zemp.
So, Brandon, where are you from?
Las Vegas.
Okay,
And Medellin.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you're from Vegas?
Yeah.
Then why do you live in Oregon?
I live in Oregon. I'm from Oregon. I live in Vegas now, and then the other 6 months I live in Medellin.
Okay.
How old are you?
26.
Okay. You have a girlfriend?
No.
Oh, you hear that, girls? Okay. Entonces, Brandon, cuéntanos, ¿qué hiciste con tu primer pago cuando empezaste el trading?
The first thing I bought trading, it was not Bitcoin. It was Ethereum. And I bought it, when did I buy it? 2017. Yeah, in college. When I was graduating college, I bought a bunch of Ethereum in 2017. And like I was telling you earlier, I was going to go to medical school because I graduated with my neuroscience degree.
Okay.
And yeah, I was like filling out my applications for like my MCAT and everything for grad school. And, all of a sudden, this Ethereum thing started going up in value. It was like $7, and all of a sudden the next day it was like $20, and there was like $30, and it was like $50.
Do you remember the price that you bought it at?
Yeah, like $7 or $8.
$7 or $8, 2017.
Yeah.
That was before it all crashed.
That was the spring before it all went up and crashed.
Okay.
And yeah, Ethereum just kept going up and up and up. And I'm like, maybe I don't need to go to school anymore. Maybe I don't need to be a doctor.
Maybe I just become a millionaire before I know it.
Maybe I'll just
quit
be a
everything
millionaire after college immediately and everything will be good, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I was just like, okay, maybe I should, look into this stuff a little bit more. And decided to focus on the industry and watched that whole market spike back in 2017, went crazy, went all the way down. And then I kind of realized that it was going to have a really big role in society.
What made you realize I was going to have a major role, especially when everyone at the moment was saying, "Oh, this is a scam. Look how it went from 19,000 for Bitcoin and ended up being $0 again. Almost like the worth was almost none. Sense wise, a lot of people lost their money. What made you go on back and say, okay, this might have a major role in our future regarding virtual currency?
The level of innovation that was beginning to happen with the technology. So like Bitcoin, for example, it's the world's best use case of blockchain technology. And Ethereum was the first time that the world saw that you could do something else with blockchain other than just, Bitcoin or a form of payment or remittance. So you started to see a lot more innovation and growth come out of that industry, even when, the crypto market was really flat and really low. So that was a huge reason. The other is that technology, it never stops advancing, ever. Name a technology that doesn't keep growing and advancing, or at least evolving. And it was at the point where it was growing so much, getting so much attention. I was like, this is going to be somewhat similar to what happened with the internet, with software, with applications, with your phone. It's in a digital age, it fits perfectly. So I was like, this is going to be an industry, and I need to be a part of this industry. And that's how you can be successful, is if you get in on something early. So I was like, all right, this is my opportunity. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely the way to start. What I believe happened was it was such brand new technology at the moment that when people saw it booming, the infrastructure behind it wasn't capable enough to supporting everything, all the volume for, say, everyone going into it so quickly that just popped.
Right.
Compared to how like an economy mostly pops just because like the numbers are wrong. But I believe this was due to the fact that there's just so many people going into it at the same time, and it just exploded instead of popping per se.
The problem was in 2017, it was all hype. It was just one big fat bubble that popped.
Yeah.
What's a little bit different now is that now the technology has found some time to grow a little bit over the last few years. More people have poured some money into it. There's more development, and they're actually doing real world things, solving real world problems now. And there's like, you got like Tesla buying like 1.5 billion in Bitcoin, and MicroStrategy and Mass Mutual, and
but that was not happening in 2017.
No one would touch it. It was all retail investors speculating.
Okay.
Now you don't see the speculation as much anymore. A lot of the money is coming from actual investment and people that want to build something in the space. So it's a little bit different of a cycle. And at some point, it probably will come back down and correct, but it might be extended towards, through the rest of the year. It's one of those things that's really hard to predict, but it is different than it was 4 years ago. Different cycle, I guess.
Listo. Brandon, explícanos qué es el blockchain.
Explain blockchain?
Yeah.
Okay. Blockchain is a digital ledger that exists only on the internet, that can never be hacked, that can never be changed, that can never be turned off or shut off, that never goes down, that's always up, that allows anyone to come to consensus, that allows anyone to eliminate a middleman in any kind of industry, that allows you to create, a trustless system because that's one of the biggest problems in society is having to trust a third party or trust who you're doing business with, trust an employee, trust your boss. It's an issue. It holds people back. It creates friction in society. That's one of the biggest takeaways from blockchain is creating a protocol that's completely trustless. And that's done through a decentralized network of computers versus having one centralized network being owned by Google or Amazon or Facebook or something like that, where they kind of dictate what's going on, what's built, how things run. This is different because everyone can run a node. Everyone can own a piece of blockchain, support the blockchain. So,
all right, but in more basic, simplified terms for people that actually have no clue what Bitcoin and blockchain is, for example, Agustín, I don't think he has even the smallest majority of capability of knowing what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so think of it like...
Es que acá no es tan popular. Sí.
Sí, es la cosa. Es que para mucha gente dicen es una moneda. Lo ven como la bolsa de mercado
de algo que no saben qué es.
De algo que existe en internet virtualmente.
Exacto, sí. Pero no saben específicamente para qué se usa, qué es, quién lo utiliza, qué se compra con eso.
Sí, que uno qué puede hacer con él, cómo recuperas el dinero, cómo lo usas.
Sí, pero empezando antes de que llegaras, estaba hablando con Brandon y me contó, yo le pregunté, ¿qué dijeron sus papás de eso? Él entonces no quiso estudiar, no quiso seguir con su carrera. Entonces, cuéntanos un poco de eso.
Yeah, let's go back again to your beginning. So people know that it's like how the whole process can be for anyone.
Sure.
Like people just saying, oh, this guy she just knows so much. Like for him, it's so easy to say that, right?
Sure.
But at one point in your life, you didn't know anything about it.
Right.
You just put money into a coin that you probably did not know anything about, eventually studied about it, learned more, and then kept on going with the process. But for, let's just say, a kid that's 18 years old or smaller, or someone that's older, like parents, right? Mm-hmm. Let's explain to them or tell them a little bit more of how it's capable for anyone to do, and how it's not it's not like a risk-free investment, but it's not as risky as they think it is.
Right. So do you want me to explain more or less, the level of being able to invest in it, or
let's go back to your roots of how you started,
Okay.
and then how you went into like the whole crypto market and everything.
So just backstory.
Yeah, like a quick backstory of how you started and how, so people feel connected and how anyone can start doing it.
Okay, gotcha. So, when's the first time I ever heard about Bitcoin? That's a good place to start.
Yeah, because I don't remember. I remember people, for example, I was in high school. I had a finance teacher, right? I had a really good finance teacher, which was probably the only teacher I ever looked up to. And I admired him, first of all, with two things. He never received payment from the school. He just did it for free because he's those people that like teaching what he actually does, and he made money off of it.
Right.
So for him, the school paying him was like kind of like ironic. Like it would be ironic that someone is paying him to teach something that he just knows so much and that he makes money off of it. So for him, it was just like he'd rather teach everyone for free than receive money from it. So he used to tell us Bitcoin is a new this new creation out of nowhere that you just make. Like a lot of people become millionaires, but there was nothing supporting it,
Right.
Like stocks have an actual company behind it that make millions of dollars, that they show quarterly their earnings. They actually have profits, some don't, but they have assets and liabilities like everyone else. But crypto, you just don't know what's going on,
Exactly.
right? It's just floating there and there, like this crypto Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano thing.
That's what we all thought too.
Yeah, exactly.
So I remember now the first time I ever heard about Bitcoin like on any kind of level was in 2013 when it had that like first spike. It went from like a couple $100s to like $1,200.
Okay.
Everyone was like, "Whoa, this is the coolest thing in finance we've seen fucking forever," right? And so, but like to me, I found it very interesting, like because there's always been this side of me that wanted to be like an investor because my parents were investors and stuff like that. So growing up, I got to see a lot of that. So I was
knowing that your parents were investors. For them, they also probably saw it as like a scam, right?
Sure.
Related deal, because it's not in the stock market, right? It's completely apart. Technically, it's something that goes against the stock market,
right?
If I'm not wrong, it's like they're not parallel to each other. It's just like one is competition, saying, "Oh, the stock market is just like this bubble."
It's decentralized. It's kind of a hard term for a lot of people to grasp because we live in a society where we don't need to understand the technical details of how things work. No one needs to understand why the stock market works. It's there every day, right?
Yeah,
that's a problem in society. Decentralization, it's the opposite of that.
Like it's not controlled by anything.
It's not controlled by anything.
Okay, so the stock market per se, it starts from 9 and it's up 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I think.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Or 5? Huh. But
crypto doesn't shut
off. Crypto doesn't shut off. It's 24/7
craziness
everywhere. So you could be at 4 a.m. sleeping, and in China they're also trading, and it can go up and down depending on the volume.
Yeah.
But then let's keep on going back to the back. What made you get to this point and believe in this asset, not knowing anything?
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Like
okay,
honestly,
that's
just
true.
like, what is this digital currency? Like, is this like possible? Like, I just honestly thought it was super cool. So, when I wasn't in classes like over the summer or like spring break, things like that, I go to Vegas, like some different like shows in Vegas and conferences, and they were starting to bring up Bitcoin as a topic more often.
Yeah.
So I just go to one of those investing conferences and see if anyone would like bring up Bitcoin or talk about it. Like, maybe, is this like going to ever be legitimate? Is this a joke? Like, I wanted to learn as an investor, just speculating. I remember going to one conference in Vegas and Peter Schiff was there, and I don't remember exactly what everything we were talking about. It was a long time ago. This was like 2015, 2014, something like that. And someone in the crowd wanted to know his thoughts on Bitcoin.
Okay.
And he's super well known today as being the one guy that hates Bitcoin more than everybody because he's a major gold bug.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were known as Bitcoin haters at the time, right? Like a lot of real investors, Kevin O'Reilly, for example. Everyone just said, don't believe in that. It's a scam. It's not real finance. You're not going to get rich off of it. You're going to lose all your money. And then now 2021, everyone's like Bitcoin.
Exactly. It's just that shift. Everyone's, wanting to pile on. It's like just a cool new thing now. It's no different than when Facebook was a huge hit back in 2008, something like that.
Yeah.
It's just, people migrate to whatever's most popular at the time.
Okay, so you think it's more like a hype related thing compared to actually being like a worthy investment?
I think in 2017 that was the case. And there were a lot of people that speculated and got into it because it was the cool thing at the time.
Yeah.
And it kind of disappeared. And, a lot of developments happened. Then now it's coming back. And it's coming back because people are doing real world things, solving real world problems using blockchain, not just, Bitcoin. But the people that do want to speculate it with it because they find it cool again, they're buying Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is like $50,000. And it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Talking to when you were explaining that you thought your parents or they were in finance, they were investors. Were they investors of the stock market or in general, like real estate, different assets?
They were mostly business owners, but they became more so investors. I don't know, around the time I got into college, they wanted to diversify their assets. So we would all kind of go to conferences together and learn together. So they were kind of in the same boat as me, learning as we went. They didn't have like a huge past as investors, but just mostly as business owners.
So they're just regular business owners.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like everyone else. It's not.
Yeah.
They were not billionaires. They were not millionaires. No. Just regular business owners.
Yeah. Started from nothing.
So entrepreneurs.
0 to 100, real quick.
What they study?
They did not.
Okay.
They did not. So one of those stories.
So you, out of your whole family, were the ones that studied?
No, I think I'm one of the first in my family, other than maybe one of my aunts or a couple of my aunts. Yeah, but in my immediate family, right now, I'm the only one with a degree. But we'll see. Hopefully, everyone else. I don't know. Actually, never mind. I'd take that back. I don't want anyone in my family to get a degree. It's waste of money.
All right, so now that's what you think about college.
¿Y tienes hermanos?
Dos hermanos.
Sí.
Where do they live?
Here in Medellin.
Yeah?
Oh, they're all here.
Yeah, the whole family's here. They love it. They love Colombia.
Okay.
How haven't I have not met them yet?
You want to go this week? We're going tomorrow. I'm going tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're driving up tomorrow. Your dad keeps messaging me like, Brandon, why are you coming? Why are you coming to Guadalupe? We need to have a talk.
Yeah, we're gonna go up this week. We're gonna go up next week too. Maybe celebrate my birthday. Maybe we can all go and have a little reunion, go on a boat and stuff.
A little soiree on boats.
Vamos a emborracharnos.
All right, but back to the.
¿Y tus hermanos trabajan contigo?
Are they with me right now?
No, do they work with you?
Oh, do they work with me?
Or are they into this whole like lifestyle related Bitcoin type of thing? Crypto?
I'd say they're interested, but they're not in it as much as I am. Like I'm like fully balls deep into it. They're like just find it interesting. I think.
But do they invest in it?
I think they still do. I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
I should ask, right?
And why not? Knowing that,
Well, I tell them all the time. I hope they invested, but they don't say anything, so maybe they didn't.
That happens a lot, The people closest to you never listen to you until they realize, like, oh, fuck, like, I messed up. I should have listened to him.
Yeah, I guess that's true for most people. I don't know. It's like when you're, like, on the cutting edge of something, or you think you're on the cutting edge of something, everyone's just kind of like, sure, whatever, go play with your Bitcoin thing.
Yeah.
Your magical internet money.
How'd you get your parents into it then?
I just kept talking about it over and over and over and over.
And one day they were just like, okay, just take my money.
Yeah, so they're like, all right, fuck it, take my money.
Shut up about it. Just take my money.
Just shut up, take my money, put it wherever you think. And then like a couple of years later, like, can we buy more?
So talking about putting in the money, that was how many years back?
For me or
for your parents or
family? Let's see. I really started investing back in 2017. I got my dad in about the same time too into Ethereum. I convinced him to put a little bit in it, and it went up a lot. He made a bunch of money. He's like, "Can I buy more? Like, is this going to keep going up?" And I'm like, "Probably." So he bought more, kept going up, bought a little bit more, kept going up. Like dollar cost averaged into it, I guess, like a little bit over time. Mm-hmm. So they were very happy with that. I was also very happy with it.
Yeah.
Good initial investment into the space.
Not a pro on it, but I did see at the moment a lot of TikToks about it and start seeing the hype again. And I was like, I'm just going to go a little bit into it. Yeah, and I put around like $600, and to this day they're like 2,000 now, which is a pretty big profit for a good return. But let's explain how anyone can get into it, right? Because for someone like, I know a little bit because I've done my research, I've studied but very little. I can't say I'm a professional or that I know where it's going or anything, but I know it has a bunch of possibilities to what it can become in the future. And everyone now, especially hopping in the trend, knowing like the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, has invested it. Other companies like Square. But this is American companies. This is American people talking about it, right? How can a Latin American person living in Colombia or Mexico or anywhere in South America and Central America go into crypto, right?
That's the thing. It's difficult.
It's difficult.
In the more developed part of the world, it's easily accessible, like the United States. Like there's tons of options to buy crypto. Like it's all over the place. Same thing with Asia and Europe. In Latin America, it's still a little untapped.
Like, I feel like everything is difficult in Latin America per se. Like if you want to go to the stock market, it's still difficult. There's no decentralized app that just like Robinhood that take away fees.
Exactly.
It's not that accessible for anyone. Just download it and go and invest in the U.S. stock market.
You can still do it though.
Yeah, you can definitely still do it.
Like for example, in Medellin, there's trading desks. Like shout out Manticore Capital because they do a lot of like over the counter trades. So you just walk in and be like, hey, I have 10 grand. Can I buy Bitcoin? They're like, sure, come back tomorrow.
Okay, so they're based for crypto. Or do they also do stock market?
No, they just do crypto.
Okay, so they're just based for crypto and they're located here.
Yes, in Medellin.
In Medellin.
In Centro Comercial Monterrey. Go check them out.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the little stand that has like a Bitcoin?
They have an office now.
Oh, they have an office now.
Ya no es una burbuja.
Ya. Eso era antes una burbujita en el medio. Llegabas, veías un signo de Bitcoin. It's like, oh, what is that? It's a little stand that has a Bitcoin. What is that?
Yeah, there's also a, what's it called? An ATM.
An ATM.
They have a Bitcoin ATM in Monterrey.
Where are they? I don't. They're in Monterrey.
I'll take you. You want to go?
I'll be cool to go see.
They have a Bitcoin ATM there. It's, what company? Athena ATM, I think. Shout out Athena. They have a few different ATMs in Medellin, I think, on their little website map or whatever. But I know where the one is in Monterrey Mall. So you can do that. You can go to the OTC desk. You could use local Bitcoins.
Okay.
And you could just see who's in Medellin.
Well, how's the process of buying one? Is it just cash, a credit card? What do you do?
Sí, yo voy mañana.
I was saying,
mañana y yo no sé nada. I don't know anything. Yo voy mañana y ¿qué hago? Tengo mi dinero, te lo doy a ti, ¿a quién se lo doy?
Por decir, tiene 10 millones de pesos para invertir, por decir.
¿Tienes dinero para Bitcoin? Like efectivo, cash.
Yeah, I have it. So what is the next step?
Go to Manticore just with your cash. Kind of some Bitcoin. Or go to the ATM. I think they take pesos. Yeah. So you just put in your pesos, like an ATM, and it'll give you the Bitcoin. And maybe it does it the other way. I think you can sell the Bitcoin for pesos.
All right, but now what they say, it gives you the Bitcoin. Where does it give you the Bitcoin? It's not going to give you something tangible.
Well, I don't work for Athena ATM, so I don't know how their process works. But I know most Bitcoin ATMs, you can like put in the cash, and then it'll give you like a QR code. And then if you have like a Bitcoin wallet.
Okay, so you need a wallet.
Yes.
People don't know about the wallet.
We can talk about wallets.
Es una billetera virtual.
Entonces, una billetera virtual, lo que yo sé, es una aplicación que uno baja, sí, tal cual como la aplicación de Bancolombia, que uno mantiene su dinero, pero también es donde uno puede comprar y vender la moneda la misma en tiempo real, ¿cierto? Entonces, para los que no saben, hay muchas. Las más recomendables son... Which are the most recommended?
Most recommended. Anyone can use a wallet in Latin America because it's digital.
Like so Coinbase, for example, for Colombia.
You can use Coinbase. Yeah,
for Colombians.
Yeah, they Coinbase. So Coinbase, what they do is if you live in a country where you're not allowed to, let's say, deposit your money into a bank account with them, they generally still allow you to hold crypto. So I believe in Colombia, you can download and sign up for Coinbase, but you can only use it to hold crypto.
Okay, so holding crypto would meaning you make another wallet and you transfer it to that wallet.
Yes.
But you can't buy and sell there, correct?
No, you have to buy and sell on an exchange, and there's a bunch of exchanges like Bittrex, Binance is really popular, blah blah blah, and then Coinbase, like for example in the US, if you had a Coinbase wallet, you could buy and sell through Coinbase, and a lot of people do that. It's popular.
That for us is like something so easy, tangible, but for the
Casi hacemos un daño.
For Agustín, he doesn't know anything about it. He's never traded in the market.
Yeah.
He probably just uses Bancolombia app, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably never invested in anything in his life. Let's explain to him how
to do it.
How to do it step by step, literally.
Okay, I think the easiest way to do it for a Colombian is to sign up with Binance. Not Binance.us, Binance.com, because that's the international version outside.
Shout out to Binance.
Shout out to Binance. So sign up for Binance, super easy. You don't need to provide them a whole lot of info. I believe I got your dad's set up with Binance. You have Binance too, right?
Yeah. But mine's American. I tried the Colombian one, but having some problems.
Oh, well, that's not good.
I don't see the Colombian currency, for example.
Right.
Which is weird.
But I think you're able to, here's the thing with Binance.
Would it be dollars?
I think you can use your card, and I think you were using the iPhone app, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier on desktop.
Okay.
So if you have a laptop, then I think you can access all the features.
Okay, so it's easier on laptop compared to your phone.
In my opinion, yeah. Because the phone, you get like limited features, or they're like tucked away or hidden. It's the problem with like apps sometimes.
Yeah, I don't get why. No entiendo el por qué. But
yeah.
I mean, apps should be way easier than a desktop thing, since now everything is mobile.
Exactly. Like you can't even deactivate your Instagram from your phone. You have to go to the desktop to do it.
Oh, okay.
Like they hide all the features.
Shout out to Binance to fix that.
Entonces, listo, pongamos un tema. Antes, yo me levanté, mi sugar daddy me dio 20 millones de pesos y me levanté feliz hoy y quiero invertirlos en Bitcoin. Entonces, vamos a abrir la página en Binance.
Bajas la aplicación.
Sí.
Te registras. Right? We're on the right path?
I think so.
Me registro en la internacional, no la de US.
Sí, en la internacional, no en la US, porque la US es para ciertas para cumplir con reglamentos de Estados Unidos. La internacional, te metes, me imagino que necesitas una cédula o un tipo de identificación para poder registrarte correctamente. Ellos te verifican, te toman una foto, te hacen como facial recognition, todo ese tipo de cosas. Después te pide tu dirección como billing de Colombia, para que sepan que estás ubicado en Colombia, y cuenta de banco colombiana, una tarjeta de crédito o de débito. Do they have debit card?
Yeah, you can use either. It's kind of the same. Credit or debit, it's just fine details. No one cares.
And then once you go in, una vez cuando ya entras y ya tienes todos bien registrado, empieza el proceso de comprar la moneda, ¿cierto? El cripto. Entonces, ya cuando tú entras, pues vas a llegar a una página que vas a ver miles de monedas. How many cryptos are there, do you know?
Like thousands.
Bueno.
So, it depends on what you want.
Entonces, hay miles de diferentes monedas. Exactamente así como uno ve miles de diferentes acciones en la bolsa.
Sí.
Uno escoge el que quiere más. Ahorita los más tendenciales son Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, I guess. Like the top 3.
Yo quiero entender algo, porque hay famosos que hoy en día, o equipos de fútbol, o países que están sacando su propia criptomoneda. Entonces, yo no sé, sacó Ozuna, que nos explique, Brandon, por qué entonces Ozuna llegó el día de ayer y dijo, quiero sacar mi criptomoneda. ¿A qué va eso? ¿Por qué?
¿Cómo funciona? Como, ¿qué es lo que está soportando que una persona haga una moneda? And it's worth something.
It is worth something.
But how, though? Like, tomorrow I make an Elixor coin for, like, as an example, right? What is going to define the actual value of that coin?
Now we're getting into monetary theory.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's subjective. Money is subjective.
So
if you believe it has value, then it has value.
Like Bitcoin.
Yeah, or your favorite pair of sneakers.
Yeah, that's true.
Why do we have StockX? They're just shoes, right?
Okay, yeah. Compared to Jordan, why do some Jordans cost way more than others?
What gives Jordan's value?
the culture, I guess.
Yeah,
But
and Jordan himself.
Nowadays,
and
the culture part is like more irrelative compared to like, oh, I'm just gonna make money off of it because it's more limited.
But people are willing to spend more money to.
But here we come, the limited part, the supply and demand. Not the monetary, but the actual how many people are willing to pay for those to be exclusively in that trend.
But why are they willing to pay for it?
Okay, yeah. That's true.
It's subjective. They want to pay for it for, a billion different reasons. But, for Jordans, for example, it's because...
I mean, most of the time it's emotionally more... It's not like an actual like intrinsic value type of thing.
That's a different type of value.
Yeah.
Money is generally subjective.
But everything's subjective if you think about it, because a pair of sneakers sometimes are not worth $10,000.
No.
No matter how many there is, how limited, how many famous people rock and everything, at the end of the day comes emotional value.
Exacto,
like,
sí.
You want to feel superior of everyone else, right?
Everyone does. Apparently, that's why it has value.
Yeah, that's the value that's giving it to it. So technically, it's the same with crypto.
Entonces, ¿qué valor le da a esa persona su moneda? Pues, o sea, ¿me entienden? O sea, antes estamos hablando de Ozuna sacó entonces su criptomoneda la semana pasada. Que la valoriza.
Let's explain the Dogecoin thing. How it was created from a meme and actually became worth something, but it was, which is kind of ironically, like they made it as a joke saying, oh, let's just make a crypto, a Dogecoin's a meme. And it became worth something just because so many people hop on the trend. Mm-hmm. But that the worth of the value actually happened because a lot of people were like putting their money on it. Mm-hmm. So it's getting backed by the money that was people were putting in it. Or
it's backed by the people that have wanted to speculate. I mean, Dogecoin is a good example of something that's purely subjective value.
Yeah.
Where it's going through a bubble because Elon Musk decided to tweet about Dogecoin like every single day for the rest of his life now. He just doesn't stop. But he's probably, I don't know, stress testing the market or something.
Yeah, I don't get what he's doing, but because he said buy it and then he's selling. So
yeah. But you
do see the
but and then $1.5 billion showed up on Tesla's balance sheet, so maybe he was testing the market.
Okay. But so to better explain it, there's no actually thing defining the value of a coin, right? It's just how many people are willing to put their money into it, which spikes up the volume in the coin, giving it more value. But per se, those coins, do they have a limited value like Bitcoin, or are they all infinite?
I think the market will ultimately decide that. I mean, what gives the dollar value or the peso value? What gives gold value?
But that's the thing, though. Like, if you think about it, the dollar, at the end of the day, before it was backed by the gold standard, now it's just paper.
It is just paper.
Yeah, it's always been paper.
So is it a good form of money? It's just paper.
That's true.
Is gold really a good form of money? Can you use gold at Starbucks? Can you use it at the mall? It's not good money.
That's true.
It has value because we believe it has value.
But we always thought we believe it has value because it's a natural element that is actually scarce in the world to get, right?
It has intrinsic value as an element, and you can use it in technology and jewelry and stuff like that. But does it have intrinsic value as money?
But when you mean intrinsic value, let's explain it a little bit more. Because I don't think people go into those terms like...
Yeah, I'll explain it. So like, think of intrinsic value as value that's built into something. And subjective value is value you give something. So example I like to use a lot when I try to explain like gold versus Bitcoin.
¿Tú entiendes qué es intrinsic value?
El valor intrínseco. Sí.
¿Sí sabes?
Pues sí, lo he escuchado.
Pero ¿sabes cómo funciona eso?
No, ahí sí no. Pues lo del valor del oro que están hablando y todo, pues que es un valor que uno tiene y si uno al día de mañana lo va a vender, le van a dar, pero
si te pones a pensar, estaba diciendo que el oro, por decir...
Yo no puedo ir al mall a comprar un helado
con él. Exactamente oro, pues, como uno no puede con
una areta,
con un Bitcoin. Pero al fin del día, por ejemplo, esta cadena para mí tiene un valor. Y viene el mercado, si lo fuera a derretir, puedo venderlo por valor.
Pero tiene su mercado, donde a mí me van a dar...
Pero ¿qué define ese valor? ¿Me entiendes? Como que no hay algo que le está diciendo, esta cadena cuesta eso porque tiene algo por detrás diciendo que le da el peso del valor en sí. Es lo mismo que el Bitcoin y el dólar. O sea, ¿qué define que un dólar cuesta un dólar? Pues ahora ya es como la economía de Estados Unidos, ya no tiene nada que ver con el oro, ¿cierto?
Sí.
Antes sí tenía que ver, pero lo quitaron de eso. Pero ahora imprimen todo el dinero que ellos quieren imprimir. Por ejemplo, imprimieron, how many $1 trillion did they print in this like quarantine time?
Oh, geez, I 1.9. I can't keep up with all the fake dollars.
Imprimieron 1.9 trillones de dólares desde
Los Estados Unidos
para salir adelante con el COVID. Pero es lo mismo.
Sí,
¿Qué
sí.
le da el valor a ese dólar? Si ellos mañana dicen yo quiero imprimir 1.9 trillones de dólares y ahora tienen 1.9 trillones de dólares.
Es que todo el dinero del mundo no está físico, es virtual también.
It's all virtual.
It's all virtual.
It's all, especially dollars, and it's all printed on a computer somewhere. It's all virtual.
So it's literally the same as crypto.
Yeah, you take your in the U.S. take your dollars to the bank. It's all fractional reserve banking, so they create more dollars digitally.
This is the thing, though. In crypto, I was saying, okay, it's decentralized, not controlled by anyone. When you say it's not controlled by anyone, it's like no one can manipulate it, right? Like
Exactly.
But it can get manipulated, telling everyone to buy it and it goes up, telling everyone to sell and it goes down.
Yeah, that's because, market volume is fairly low compared to where it should be in the future, and because not everyone owns Bitcoin.
So that's the reason why it goes up and down right now.
Yeah, there's volatility because it's not stabilized yet. When you have 24-hour market volume that's like, in the hundreds of billions of dollars every single day.
A little transaction. Well, small 1.5 won't do that much damage.
Small transactions, yeah, it's going to stabilize. But the question for Bitcoin is is it going to be money? Is it going to be a store of value? It's kind of shaking through that right now.
Now we go back to the same. Agustín makes account, buys crypto. Now he's like, okay, my money's now worth a coin, a crypto. Well, either if it's Ethereum or Bitcoin per se.
¿Cómo yo voy a hacer que esa moneda entonces incremente el valor? ¿Cómo voy a hacer para que yo estar atento si subió, si bajó?
Now how is he gonna know it's gonna go up and his actual investment is gonna be worth something in the future, right?
Right. Well, I'm
guessing no one can really know.
Right. If you're buying Bitcoin from an investment standpoint, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of factors that could move the market. So if you're not, into it every day, it's just like gambling as much as it's just throwing your money into the stock market without doing any research beforehand. Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend that without,
it's the same for everything. Is that people say, I'm just going to put my money into a crypto and not know if it's going to go up or down and lose all my money, right? But the same thing can happen. I can invest all my money in a new business that I think is going to be profitable, and I don't put enough time in it, or I don't take good care of it and just go broke. It happens to everything. But I think people here, what they think that they don't understand is I put my money and I'm literally giving my money to someone else to manage it per se, right? Like I'm just giving it to this app I don't know anything about. I don't know what's going to happen with it. The day of tomorrow, I don't know if it's going to go up or lost. If I lost my money, how to take it out, whatever. I'm guessing this is the type of investment that you just have to hop. It's on the trend. It's more speculative more than anything.
It can be. I'd say this, if you don't know a lot about it and you want to put your money into it, it's not investing, it's gambling. And there's nothing wrong with gambling. Some people like gambling, some people don't. But that's how you have to think about it. It's like throwing your money into the stock market or throwing it into crypto or throwing it into real estate.
Yeah, like if you just throw in anything,
that's gambling.
You don't people don't know the right price to go in, the right price to sell, how, like the length of period they should leave their investment in for it to be profitable, all those little things, right? Exactly. Which that would come into the part that he should just do a little bit of research about. Anyone that's trying to get into this market, the same as going to the stock market, do a little bit of research of the correct price, what has been the average price point, a good price to go in, a good price to sell. If you translate to another coin, what has more potential value in the future, all that things, right? People are like, I'm just going to put my money in. But they never think about those little things, right? Like what price should I buy in, or what price should I sell, or should I buy the best thing to do is buy cheap and sell high, right?
Yeah, that's in simple layman's terms. Yeah, buy low, sell high.
Buy low, sell high. But a lot of people are just like, people just tell you, just go in Bitcoin. Just put your money, don't even worry about it, just go in it, you know?
Sí,
it's like,
no,
why go in it?
Y así no, pues, o sea, no va a crear confianza.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that are going into 57,000 when it was at the point because they're like, oh my God, this thing's going so high right now. It's probably going to keep on going higher, right? Mm-hmm. And they didn't do the research. It went down. But that's a normal market thing. Not everything maintains a value and keeps on going skyrocketing every day.
But investing, when you really dig into it, can get really complicated. So like, are you looking at it from a short-term perspective? Are you looking at it from a long-term perspective?
What would you recommend as like the average time for someone to hold a crypto?
It depends, but a lot of people, they buy and I know people that have bought like way back in the day, like years ago, and they won't sell. They refuse because they think Bitcoin is going to the moon.
Yeah. I mean, if you start at 60 cents and it's already $57,000.
Then you're up. You're always up.
No, yo supe la historia, ahorita se la cuentas a Brandon si no me entiende, que hay una familia en Estados Unidos, tenía como, yo no sé, como 13 bitcoins o 13,000 o 13... Algo, tenía un cierto porcentaje del Bitcoin y eso una vez pagaron una pizza con esos Bitcoins.
Oh yeah, the famous pizza, right?
Yeah. Y eran $80 millones, algo así, ¿o no?
Sí, no. How much is that worth? The investment is worth now? Like
I don't know off the top of my head, but you can calculate it. Someone spent 20,000 Bitcoin on like 2 pizzas.
That's actually crazy.
I don't know where that 20,000 Bitcoin is, but if I was that pizza delivery driver and I scraped a little off the top as a tip, I'd be so happy right now.
Oh my. And if you didn't touch it, like just left it there, chilling, like just settling in a wallet, just letting it grow, right?
Exactly.
That actually happened to me, which is a funny thing.
Really?
Back in high school, we wanted to get fake IDs. Don't do this.
Don't do it. It's wrong.
Don't do this. This is wrong. But we bought fake IDs, right, to go clubbing, go to bars and everything. Mm-hmm. We were like 17. You know, in the States, you have to be 21. Here, you have to be 18. So it's completely different. We weren't going to wait 3 more years. But we found this provider that was going to give us the fake IDs. But the only method of payment that we were using at the time was Bitcoin because it was just this anonymous... like payment processing, which a lot of people still think Bitcoin is that, but it's not, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it was believed like 128 Bitcoins. I believe that was it. Well, the dollar value at the time was like $128. I think the Bitcoin was like $1 or something. Mm-hmm. And it actually ended up being a little bit less, but we deposited $128 to the Bitcoin account. And we paid off the rest to those Chinese people, which are probably millionaires now, doing some illegal stuff. Only accepting Bitcoin. But now recently, like a year back, when I was trying to go into my Coinbase, mm-hmm. I went back and I had $200 out of like a fraction of a cost of what a Bitcoin was. So like, where did this money come from? Like, did they give me a refund or not? And I looked more into it and I had like 0.00128 like of a Bitcoin. And I was like, oh my God, imagine if I had the 100 Bitcoin and never bought a fake ID with it and just forgot that would be worth millions, right? Yeah. I heard that people that bought 10,000 Bitcoins or 1,000 Bitcoins when it was nothing, now they would have like $1 billion. Or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, there's some crazy stories where people have spent like a couple $1,000s on it and then forgot about it and come back and they're like multimillionaires. Mm-hmm. And their whole life has changed.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's a little bit like a little bit about your family. You guys probably not billionaires or anything, but...
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You don't know how much Bitcoin I got.
All right, so he's an undercover billionaire, guys. But
maybe possible.
You convince your whole family to come live in Medellin. Before that, you told them to invest in crypto, made a lot of money in it, and just came here to pretty much retire and live life.
Yeah, I think those are fair assumptions to make.
Okay. Para que vean.
Muy bueno.
Pues, ¿quién no quiere ya vivir así? Who wouldn't like to live like that, you know? Like, just invest some money into it. I mean, right now people say, oh, but it's so high. You know, there's other coins also that people don't.
There are.
They could go
thousands.
Into. There's thousands.
Por ejemplo, ¿cuál sería en este momento el Bitcoin que vos dirías es el menos valorizado, el menos esperado que
ves como la criptomoneda más que tiene más futuro? Like, exactly. Which one has more future in all of the cryptos right now?
Man, that's tough. But
I seen a lot. People say Polkadot is going to 100. It's at 32 right now.
there's a lot of
Yeah,
speculation
there's a
right
lot of
now. The
speculation.
best thing to do is just ignore the speculation and look at it from like a technological point of view. And this stuff can get really technical and really high
But
level.
let's give him a small basis on
Sure.
what it is, because a lot of people say, "Oh, but Bitcoin, right?" But what you were explaining to me one day was, it's pretty much a technology where it's like a server technology, right? That anyone can just build something on it,
Right.
and it's faster. The processing is way much faster. You can deliver. That's the part. Like, I don't know if people realize what self crypto is, like blockchain itself.
Well,
but it's like a bunch of little servers
Let's
living
use some
everywhere.
examples.
Okay.
So from the server side of it, let's take Google, for example.
Yeah.
Whenever you go on your computer and you search something like, who is Alex? What are they doing?
I wish I showed up on Google.
Facebook.
Yeah, let's say someone's searching that on Google because they want to see what's out there. So Google's servers, which Google owns, that are at Google, controlled by Google.
Yeah.
Google dictates. Google can shut down.
So it's because they control this huge server where all the information is stored.
Yes, they control it all.
Okay.
So everything Google related, controlled by Google. Google computers, Google servers. So when you go to Google and you search, who is Alex? It will query those servers, ask it a question, and then it'll ping that information back to your computer telling you about Alex. Right?
Okay.
So that's kind of how centralization works on the internet, kind of in a nutshell. The difference with blockchain is that it is decentralized. So what does decentralized mean? It means that those servers don't belong to one company or one person or one place. They're all over the world.
So they're
anyone.
But
anyone
all
can.
over the world means what? Like, it's literally my computer right now?
You could run a Bitcoin node on your computer if you really wanted to. Or someone in Bangladesh could do it, or in Russia could do it, or in the United States.
But it's something people do, right?
Yeah.
But for say someone does that server, you have some information on that, and they decide to take it off. Will I lose that information, or there's
thousands and thousands and thousands of these like Bitcoin.
Okay, so it's a bunch of little Bitcoin servers per se that just connect to a big one, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, a lot of these nodes or servers, they're built into like wallets nowadays. They're and stuff like that. So like, even if you run like a wallet or you run something on Bitcoin, in some ways you're sneakily running a node or a server. So in essence, they're all over the place, all over the world. And as Bitcoin has matured, there's more and more and more nodes.
Who was the creator of this?
We don't know.
You don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows.
Satoshi Nakamoto is the supposed creator. No one really knows for sure, though.
He's the creator of what crypto?
So when Bitcoin was being built and the code was being done, Satoshi Nakamoto was the pseudonym, at least, of the person that was building it, and that some famous developers today were working with him as well on this.
Okay, but no one knows no one knows where he is.
He cut off communication. He disappeared, and no one's ever heard from him since. So no one knows who he is. It's muy loco.
I actually did not know that. Oh, I thought it was like a known person that just that's what I was thinking. I'm like,
that's what's crazy about this.
But then he's the creator of Bitcoin? Or no?
He technically is the creator of Bitcoin, but no one knows who he is or where he is.
Okay, but Bitcoin now, who's managed by who?
There's a foundation, people that, submit proposals to, we're getting into the technical stuff.
Okay, I guess. But if you say like, all right, Apple, right?
So
it's ran by back in time was Steve Jobs.
Yeah. So Steve Jobs wanted to change something, let's say on the Mac.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs would be like, you change that on the Mac. Do it now. Tomorrow it's changed. So Bitcoin's more complicated because it's decentralized. So you have to take the code, which is public. Anyone can see how Bitcoin works. You have to submit a proposal and come to agreement on it as a group of developers. And then you take the code and you essentially clone the code and with the changes you want, and then that's the new blockchain. That's why Bitcoin doesn't ever really get
Okay,
changed.
so tomorrow Bitcoin crashes per se. Who fixes that?
It doesn't crash. It's always up.
What the? Okay, this is some like alien shit. What the I actually did not know that. What?
Why?
¿Tú entiendes lo que está diciendo?
Bitcoin can't go down. As long as there's at least one server in the world, Bitcoin's up.
Do people know how many servers there are currently?
No, because anyone could run a server and not tell you.
What?
So who knows? There could be more than we think.
Okay, so crypto is actually the complete opposite of what I was like. I was thinking 2 days ago, like, whoever the owner of his Bitcoin, which I believe it was one of those famous guys, but I thought he was actually a public figure or something, was going to be a trillionaire.
It's a mystery. That's the fun part.
O sea, hasta puede ser el hombre más rico del mundo y no podemos saber.
Hey, he can literally be the richest man in the world right now. No one would know.
No one would know.
No one know.
Exactly.
Like Putin. No one knows if he's the richest man in the world.
Who knows who created it? It could be Elon Musk. It could be the CIA.
And also the money can be in a wallet, right?
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, if you know like where to look for the wallets, like there's like these like search engines kind of online where you can like search the blockchain and find wallets. Like if you knew what wallet to look for, you could see how much is in that wallet.
What?
You just don't know who owns it.
Okay.
So there's like public wallets.
Is there a public figure or person or anyone has been considered the richest person to ever get rich off crypto?
Yeah. People think that the Winklevi are the richest Bitcoin owners in the world. Yeah. The Winklevi.
Explain a little bit about who they are.
They are the two guys that supposedly bullied Elon Musk into Facebook.
Bullied?
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what happened behind the scenes. There's a huge legal battle. We've all seen The Social Network.
I don't know. People just don't know about that much.
So the Winklevoss twins and Mark Zuckerberg supposedly, came together, and they did not supposedly. They came together and were wanting to work on Facebook. This idea they had for a social network
with Elon Musk.
No. The Winklevoss twins.
But what does Elon Musk have to do with one?
He doesn't.
Oh no. Oh, Zuckerberg,
yes.
Oh, it was them two together.
Yes, the two Winklevoss twins and Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay.
And their idea, as it went down, was they wanted to create a social network that became Facebook.
Yeah. So it was like a better version of MySpace at the time.
Yeah. So there's a lot of debate on like who's right in that situation. There's a huge legal fight.
Is that why Mark Zuckerberg is considered stealing Facebook from someone?
Yeah, some people think that Mark Zuckerberg stealed it. Some people think that he just had a better idea. So there was a huge legal battle between the Winklevi. I say Winklevi because it's like the plural of two different things. So the Winklevi and Zuckerberg, got into it.
Okay, so then the Winklevi left Facebook. And they went on.
Well, they settled their lawsuit, and then the Winklevi went on to really get into crypto. They started Gemini Exchange, which is really popular.
Oh, which is theirs. Okay, that's another exchange, but it doesn't work that much in Latin America, right?
Yeah, and supposedly they own a lot of Bitcoin from what they've said. So, and I think they've claimed to be the first Bitcoin billionaires. I'm really not sure, but if they were when they quoted that, when Bitcoin was like close to 20,000, they've clearly made a lot more.
Okay, but let's put it in context. It's in context per se. If Jeff Bezos were to sell, people say he's the richest man in the world.
On paper.
On paper, yeah, exactly. But he doesn't actually have the paper, which is the money in hand.
He has some paper, but
he has, obviously, but he doesn't have 180 billion or 170, whatever, 2 billion that he has, right?
Unless you put it in Bitcoin, then we never
know. Yeah, that'd be extreme. But this is the thing. People, speculators say that if he were to cash in all his stock, because he's worth what he's worth, pieces of Amazon stock, correct?
Mm-hmm.
If he were to cash it in and turn it into actual tangible cash dollars, the stock of Amazon would crash and he would almost lose all his fortune.
Yeah, because it's a public company and he'd be liquidating stock. So yeah, it'd crash. Amazon probably.
What would that happen with Bitcoin? If you have abundance, 100 million Bitcoin, and you're like, fuck, I just want tomorrow, I just want to.
Same thing. If you went on to an exchange and liquidated thousands of Bitcoin.
Would it go through?
Bitcoin, yeah.
Because I've gotten a lot of questions trying to get people into the game, explaining everything. They're like, where do I buy and sell? Who do I sell to? I'm like, it doesn't work like that. People think it's like you go out to the supermarket, buy a water bottle for that, and then you have to go sell it to someone to make money.
No, you sell it at market price on an exchange, just like you do.
But you don't know who you're selling it to. It just automatically
you sell it
happens.
to the exchange, and then someone else buys it.
And then you're just in charge of selling it, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Back to that. In Colombia, or as I've seen a lot of people also come and buy it for you to cash, and then you just transfer the money to their wallet, to the Bitcoin.
Sure.
And then you just pay in cash.
Yeah. It's called local Bitcoins. You can do that. That's called an OTC trade.
Okay, so if I was seeing where to want to go buy crypto tomorrow, he just gives the cash, like what we were saying, to someone that has the Bitcoin. Let's just say me. I have some Bitcoin. He wants to put it in money. He gives me the cash. He opens up a wallet. I transfer some of that Bitcoin to him, and now he has the coin. But there was actually no like bank transaction wise, like nothing, none of that.
Yeah, that's why it's called OTC.
Is that legal?
Yeah. There's nothing illegal about it. It's no different than if you bought gold privately from someone.
All right, but let's go back to the thing that happened with you in Bancolombia.
Sure.
Which is funny, though. People, you can explain it.
It's funny.
It's funny, though. Is that me being also American but living in Medellin, I know like the hassle it is to do certain things, how people, it's so hard to actually be like someone so updated in certain things and being in the reality that things are so easy to do, right?
Yeah.
Like everything's so easy to do. People just keep the mindset that everything's hard to do, so they never do it, right?
Yeah.
So but in the United States, everything's way more easier to do than Latin America.
Yes.
So now explain what happened in Bancolombia in the story.
In a nutshell, had a business was trying in Colombian business was trying to set up a Colombian bank account.
Okay.
And without naming names, some lawyer decided to mention something about crypto to the banker, and the banker looked me up and thought that I was some crypto guru in Medellin and decided to shut my bank account down because they don't want to touch it.
But why do you think the bank just looked at you like a drug dealer per se?
Because in Colombia, that's how they look at crypto. The same way they look at drugs, marijuana.
Acá no existe una esa cultura, pues no saben qué es eso, les da miedo.
Yeah,
it's a huge problem.
Here in Colombia, people are like, oh, that's like illegal, right? Like it's an illegal coin. Like if you do anything related to Bitcoin, something illegal. But
the banks, yes. The government's a little bit
even the banks in the United States are like paying millions of dollars for the media and everything. Say Bitcoin's bad, don't trust it, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
Except they're all developing crypto products now.
Yeah,
they're all working
because they know if they're not hopping the trend, they're just going to die. And Bitcoin's going to take over, and the banks are going to die.
Yeah, well, the government's also given them the green light to do whatever they want with crypto, pretty much.
But
so
not in Latin America.
Not yet.
That's in the States.
Oh yeah, the banks here, they don't want to touch it because they look at it as...
They don't want to touch it, but from Binance, you can transfer your Bitcoins directly to your Colombia bank account, right?
Don't tell them.
Don't tell them.
If they see a bunch of, transactions coming in...
Do you need to pay fees, though?
Probably.
Okay. This is why I don't understand,
free.
Right? Nothing's free, but apart from Coinbase, I actually charge you fees, right? Now with that you link your bank account to the wallet and you transfer more money whenever you want. Who pays the fee? Sometimes they're free. It's free to you send money to the other one. Like, why do the banks hate it? I know banks, for say, small recap is that they make money off of fees, people having money in their bank account because they use it to invest in other things and whatever, right?
I'd say that the banks don't hate it. The banks just
feel scared, I guess.
They hate the policy, I think. Banks won't touch it because they don't want to get in trouble. If they get in trouble, they pay fines, and fines mean they pay money.
Okay, yeah. A lot of money I would do.
Exactly. So banks don't want to get in trouble. But banks want to use it because they're going to make a lot more money. They're going to make tons
That's
of money.
That's what I was saying, though. Like if a bank, let's just say, now you leave, people are like, oh, I love saving money. I want money for my retirement. People don't know there's a 3% inflation rate. So that means you leave $100. Your $100 in a year is going to be 90.
Some cryptos give you an
97
APY as high as 8%.
Yeah,
every single
year.
That's
what people don't understand. People say, "I love saving money. I'm just going to put it in the bank. The bank is going to give me interest fees and going to make money, whatever." That's not real. Take that out of your head, right? I don't know if I was.
But this is what's going to happen.
If
in
Agustín
the US,
knows, tú sabes de eso, que uno dice, me gusta guardar el dinero en el banco,
Con el colchón.
Pues debajo del colchón, ¿cierto?
Pero ese dinero que va a estar en el colchón, si no paran atención en lo que está pasando, ya ese dinero no va a tener...
Sí, ya no tiene valor.
Ajá.
Porque tiene que seguir creciendo con los años, con toda la inflación y todo ese tipo de cosas, ¿cierto? Y ahora, acá la gente pues dice, yo quiero guardar mi dinero para que me pueda jubilar más pronto, más rápido y tener dinero para poder vivir. Pero, well, banks put that story in you saying, oh, just save the money with us, we'll give you a 0.30 APR or APY. And so if you have $100, then your $100 is 130 cents, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, but like
that's nothing.
Here's the thing: in crypto, you can get really high APYs.
Yeah.
Stablecoin, and in the US, they will start allowing banks like Bank of America and stuff like that. They will hold stablecoins because it's better than a savings account.
No, exactly. But that's the thing, though. Like we're trying to compare, kind of, because obviously crypto's the better way to go. Your investments are way much higher. The rate of return is much higher and everything. But the banks are still putting in people's mind that it's way better to just save your money and don't do anything with it and just leave it in a bank account, right? People don't understand all that comes along with that. So if you have $100, inflation is going to devalue your $100. If you add another $100 next year, you're going to say, oh, now I have $200 in my bank account, and then you can buy less with that, right? People don't understand that 50 years ago, 30 cents got you a cup of coffee now because it's like $5.
Yeah.
Like people don't put that in retrospect because they have. I haven't lived in the past and everything, but it's just history, that always happened. So what crypto prevents you from, it tries preventing that, right? Not preventing them, but giving you more value or on a tangible thing that you have, which is $1, right?
Yeah.
So if you have $1, your dollar is going to have more value. But that's the part to get about anti-inflation.
Crypto's deflationary.
Deflationary. So
there's a rate of inflation because you have like a supply that's like coming into the circulating supply over time for different reasons. We don't have to get into the technical details unless you want to. But in the end, it's deflationary because there's a set limit on how big the circulation base is versus like dollars or pesos. You can just keep printing away if you want to.
That's
it never ends.
But Bitcoin you can't because there's only 21,000. And then the actual coin should actually be worth more. People want to pay more for it, right?
Basic economics would say that as it becomes more scarce, it becomes more valuable.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess
so. It's just, at the end of the day, it's not a riskier investment. It's just a safer investment, right? Than leaving your money in the bank.
I personally think it's a safer investment. And to everyone in America, this is not investment advice.
It's not investment advice.
It's not. Don't sue me.
But
it's in my personal opinion, yeah.
If you put into account that inflation, bank fees, everything, like you're just not making more money,
Exactly.
People are like, oh, go into an IRA for a 1K. They're gonna match you, and then when you retire, you're gonna have double what you had. But technically, if you have $2 million now, it's not gonna be $2 million in the future. It's probably gonna be like 750,000 without.
Who guarantees the whole system will be there in 50 years?
Yeah, that's true.
That the IRA system will be there in 50 years, or Social Security will be there in 50 years. Like these things are very.
So the thing would be like for people. So people take advice on everything they see, but they don't actually think about the future and how it can not just it can just disappear.
Yeah,
like everything
else.
else.
Want to get rich now. They don't want to get rich in 20 years. So they're always thinking about now.
But okay, this is the thing though. People say don't go into crypto. You're not gonna make that much money now. It's too high. And then some people say, getting rich. When you get rich fast, it's always bad, right? Like getting rich fast or anything that's fast leaves fast, right?
Well, it's because they're jealous of the people that do get rich fast. I
mean,
yeah,
that's true.
There's nothing wrong with getting rich fast. I mean, there's something wrong with the mindset of I'm going to and need to get rich fast because it's not always reality. So there's a difference there.
Yeah. But crypto is the way to go, I would say, for the future. And regarding virtual currencies, wallets, easier payment processing, gateways. Well, we haven't talked about how it also makes it so much easier for people in lower class statuses. They can become bank. What's it called? Like that they don't rely on banks, and then if they don't have a bank near them, crypto actually helps them become more like virtually transaction.
Yeah, are you talking like banking the unbanked?
Yeah.
That idea.
That that it's going to be easier for if I want to send money to my family, let's say in Guatemala or anywhere around the world, in South Africa, and I have pesos, it's going to be way easier in the future just to send the money straight to them with crypto.
Exactly.
Compared to a bank.
Exactly. Because if the only barrier to entry is a cell phone, just about everyone can get a hold of a smartphone nowadays, then you have access to it. Right?
So the only thing you need to start investing in crypto, and not even investing, but using it, is cell phone with internet access. That's all you need.
Yeah, but even across Latin America, anywhere in the world, I mean, just about everybody has a smartphone, and somewhere there's access to Wi-Fi. If you got those two things, you're
especially if Elon Musk does a Starlink and everyone just has free Wi-Fi everywhere. Right? I want to see how that's going to happen.
Smartphones and Starlink, that's all you need.
There's going to be better Wi-Fi in Guatepe everywhere we go. You know, there's not even signal, but there's going to be Wi-Fi.
Guatepe needs better Wi-Fi. Badly.
Sí, eso va a ser increíble. But all right. So we'll almost finish up. How
do you want to wrap it up?
Let's see how we can wrap it up. Give it a little twist. I don't know. You're the one. You're the podcast. What else can we do?
Well, what haven't we talked about crypto? Since this is mostly focused on crypto,
we talked about. How about this? We can also talk about how the banking system in Latin America doesn't want to touch it. So that you know how they got scared about you.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to change in the future?
How about the future of it in Latin America?
Exactly.
Because I think it's very bright. The banking
system. You think it's bright, but I doubt it, honestly.
Let me convince you.
Let's see. Apenas hasta la semana pasada el gobierno de Colombia está mirando y estudiando lo que es la criptomoneda y si van
That's funny. See, how do you think banks are going to adapt to it when they're not even willing to accept you as a customer for them, like a client,
Well, the banks in Latin America, they follow the
guidelines
like Citibank in New York. They follow U.S. banking guidelines because they look up to the big brother in the U.S. and in a sense. So in time, because the U.S. banking system is just now adopting it, so maybe another 5 years, I bet you Bitcoin that the banking system here will change their tune on it. The other thing is the government here, they want it because it can do a lot of good for those that are in poverty and those that need access to banking or finance and credit.
See, but that part, here in Colombia, I don't know about other countries, but they have Nequi and they have Bancolombia, right? If you want to open a bank account and you don't have a close by bank, you open a Nequi wallet. I don't know if you know about it.
What's Nequi?
Nequi, ¿tú sabes qué es Nequi? It's super weird,
Is it like a digital bank?
I have it. I don't know why I have it.
Why do you have it?
It's by Bancolombia, right? But it's like completely apart from Bancolombia.
Is it like a digital?
It's branch? Like a digital wallet that you just. This is the thing. You know how in Latin America you can go deposit to like a kiosk money and they just deposit your bank account. The United States is known as a bank. You just go to the ATM and you put your dollars and it goes to the bank account. Here you can do it anywhere, like in like a pharmacy or gas station or whatever. But I still don't understand the difference, right? And it's Bancolombia owns Nequi. Nequi is for the people that don't have access to banking near them. So if they live like in pueblos or in rural areas. They go to those places and deposit money and it becomes virtually. What I do know is that it's very limited. Like you don't need that much information. You don't need like an ID or anything to create the account using like a phone number, and it's very simple. And the fun part is the debit balance that you actually have currently. You can use it, and it creates a digital code to buy things online. So it creates like a credit card. They don't give you credit, but it gives you the ability to use the debit as a credit, right? So I don't understand why Bancolombia doesn't do it directly in their bank account in their banking app. But it's kind of weird if you think about it. It's pretty much like a crypto wallet because it's decentralized from the banks. It's not much controlled.
My guess, the reason they do it is because they're experimenting with it, and if it fails, they don't want that attached to Bank of Colombia's name.
It's weird though because a lot of people have it. It is mostly for people that don't have banking access and stuff. and people that don't manage that much money, right? I think there's certain limits. You can transfer out, transfer in.
Right.
So you also don't have to pay taxes. That's why they don't ask that much information about your personal details. But I know a lot of people that use it. It's weird. I actually have probably like, I say most of the transactions is Elixir. People like online virtual transactions. People say like, "Oh, Neki, do you have Neki?" And it's even easier than Bancolombia because it just asks you for a phone number and you just transfer directly to that phone number. It's like Venmo, you know. But it's completely apart, and I still don't see the difference. I'm guessing the only thing is that you just don't have to sign up for an actual banking account. But it's controlled by Bancolombia, so it still probably has to do with the same legal fees and everything. But what I'm trying to say is, if you don't have a Bancolombia credit card, you might as well just download Neki, also put some money into it, and then invest that using that wallet into crypto.
Yeah, that's an interesting option. I guess you could do it that way. I've never tried, but
we should try it. Maybe
we should.
Maybe
we should try it on the podcast. Why not?
Yeah, I think maybe you can even sign up with your passport or something like.
Maybe
I signed up with my CE with Cédula Extranjería. It didn't ask me that much information, which is weird, but it did ask for that. So we have to see if maybe you can try with the American passport.
I can try. That'd be interesting.
Then you can have like some
now.
Because I actually at the beginning when I got here it was kind of difficult to have like a bank account. You know, you need like all legal papers and all that stuff. But I got this Rappi credit card, Rappi debit card, and Rappi actually has like a wallet.
Yeah,
in their
I was
app.
gonna get one too. Do you like it?
I haven't been able to use it as a thing.
Why?
I thought it was gonna be as easy as Neki. But you actually have to then register with Davivienda, which is another bank here in Colombia. And then they have to give you access and stuff. And then that complicated. So then I found Neki and I found it completely different and much easier to use. So I stayed with Neki. And then I got my Colombia account and everything. So now I don't even use that much Neki. But it's an option, you know? We should try it with you to see if we can just tell other people they can use that to also invest in. Pretty interesting. I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I do want to check that out because I need to find banking solutions down here as a foreigner until I get my visa. So like, if that worked, that'd
which is weird if you think about it. In the States, as a foreigner, you can just go and open a bank account.
Yeah.
Here, I don't think.
I mean, my cards work here just fine. Like, it's not an issue,
but you don't have a Colombian bank account, do you?
No, not yet. I'm working on it. It's difficult unless you have a visa or a business.
Okay.
So from the business side of it, I'm working on trying to smooth it over so it's not all crypto.
Yeah.
Because once they start looking into it, if they like look up my name like on Google, then they'll be like, "Oh, he's like the crypto guru. We cannot work with him." I'm like, "God damn it!"
It's like a modern day virtual like drug lord.
I know, but it's just an issue.
Cosas malas de ser famoso.
Yeah. This sucks for you for being famous, bro.
Yeah.
What a shame.
It's horrible. Fame is awful, man.
Yeah,
it
man.
ruins people.
You know, you can't get bank accounts. What are you doing with your life, man?
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's why I don't need a bank account. Actually, there are places in Colombia that accept Bitcoin straight up, so it's actually really nice. Like,
no way.
Yeah, if you go to Monterey Mall,
okay.
there's stores that will allow you to pay in Bitcoin in Guatapé, in that little town.
In Guatapé, you can pay with Bitcoin.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you my Guatapé story?
No.
So I went with some friends like 2 years ago to Guatapé for the first time, and I didn't know anything about Guatapé, so we went on a bus, and I didn't bring any cash, and I couldn't use my card anywhere, and I was like completely screwed. And I needed to buy a bus ticket for like $10, and I didn't even have $10. So I was trying to find that one ATM in the town.
Famous but broke.
I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get home? Bus leaves at 6. I gotta get a ticket. I don't even have $10, and it's 5 o'clock. And then I saw this store with a Bitcoin sign, and I went in. I'm like, do you guys actually accept Bitcoin? They're like, yeah, of course. I'm like, okay, can I get 4 beers and some cash?
What?
Y hablaban en inglés.
Yeah, it was actually really funny though.
Well, that's like one in none.
I know. It was
I mean,
crazy coincidence.
In a pueblo, someone said Bitcoin talking to you in Spanish, in English, sorry, and you going home safe and sound.
I got so lucky.
What?
Bitcoin saved my life. That was awesome.
There you go, guys. Another reason to invest in Bitcoin. I mean, if you can invest in a pueblo in Bitcoin, and you know the people in the pueblo actually buying Bitcoin, and you live in a big city,
well,
and
the banks couldn't save my life. I didn't have any cash, so the fiat system didn't save me. What saved me? Bitcoin did. And I could use it even in that small town.
I wish I had a little story like that. like haven't used Bitcoin and anything to buy anything. I think people don't realize that you can actually buy things with Bitcoin, right? And I believe that's for two things. You just transfer them directly to their wallet, like we were saying, or now they're creating like these cards that just debit the balance.
Yeah, you can use those in the U.S. The problem is they won't let you use them in Colombia because they think Colombia is just a horrible place still for banking and for drugs and things like that. So like you can't use it there. But in the U.S., you can get these cards that you can load with cash, kind of like a prepaid debit card.
Yeah, like a Necky thing.
Yeah, similar to
like
Necky, except imagine Necky with a Bitcoin wallet attached to it.
Okay.
And you send your Bitcoin to that Bitcoin wallet. You see something you want to buy, you convert the Bitcoin to dollars in the app.
So you can actually use real time your Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You don't have to like sell it. Well, you do sell it, right?
sells
You
it
sell like a piece, like
it
a
sells
portion.
it automatically. So you want to buy a beer or something.
Okay.
You can sell the exact amount for that beer you want to buy. It loads it on the card, and then you just go swipe the card.
That's good to know. I mean, hopefully that technology comes to Latin America, and it will be ideal.
It's coming. It'll come eventually. Matter of time.
Yeah. All right. To wrap it up, question of the day.
Okay.
What price do you think Bitcoin is going to be at the end of 2021?
Matter of time. When?
Well,
What point in time?
end
of the year?
Yeah, end of the year.
100,000 easily.
100,000.
That's my personal guess.
2x. I mean, if you have 50K,
I think
it's
end
gonna
of
be
the year.
100K.
I think I'm going to go with all the smart analytics and the big corps that are putting money into it and think that it's going to 300,000. I think it'll be 300,000 end of the year. Possibly.
300K
That's
end of this year.
That's my guess.
Especially with right now what's happening, that's just like going up and down. We don't know what's going to happen with the market.
Yeah.
It's going to stabilize. It's going to go up.
It's just my guess. I could definitely be wrong about that. I do think 100% that it's going to 100,000 very quickly.
And you're still heavily invested in Bitcoin, or is there other coins you
I still
believe
hold
are?
Bitcoin. It's not my main investment, but I still hold it.
What do you think is going to be like the second upcoming Bitcoin for this year though? Like this year, not in the future, like 10 years from now, but like this year.
In
if I were
terms
to
of
buy
an investment,
tomorrow and return my investment at the end of the year, which one would you recommend the most?
this is not investment advice, but I would recommend like Polkadot, Cardano. I think those have a lot of long-term and short-term potential. They're just, the reason why is that they're technologically better than Ethereum, and Ethereum is like the most well-known blockchain other than Bitcoin in terms of building on it.
But Bitcoin is going to still keep on going, grow just because it's the most trendy, the most known.
I think there's so much corporate and institutional money going into it. Why would it slow down?
Okay.
I think it's a matter of time before it starts showing up on paper and people freak out. Oh, I need to own it too. And they run to the store or go to Coinbase or wherever they have an ATM or I don't know, anywhere they can get their hands on Bitcoin. I think people will run to it.
All right. Any
It's
more
coming.
follow-up questions? ¿Estamos bien?
Muy interesante.
Demasiado interesante.
Gente, aquí tuvieron a Brandon Zip y
Zemp.
Zemp.
Muy
Bueno,
interesante la charla de hoy.
what's your Instagram?
The block hash.
The Block Cash?
The block hash, yes.
Okay. Bueno, mi gente, nos vemos en el próximo episodio del Rompiendo Paradigmas de Elixor Magazine.
Un placer.